Welcome to a brand new episode of the Z2 podcast, where three friends break up and get back together as the greatest boy band that ever lived. As always, I'm your host, Zach.
I am your co-host, Zach.
And I'm the third guy, Steven.
I honestly thought you were going to have your own pop star persona there.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on watching Popstar again tonight. I watch that movie like once a month.
Because it's amazing.
It's so great. Like, it's just such a good mindless movie. Like,
I just feel comedy is the hardest thing for me to rewatch, since you already know where like most of the jokes are.
But I love the drama aspect.
The mockumentary.
Is it like
Kid Contact, Kid Brain,
Harry the Hunter.
Kid Connor.
Popstar to you is what Anchorman is to me. I can watch that movie an infinite number of times and still find it hilarious.
Yeah. Like I said,
fair enough.
And I enjoy the music. Like yesterday when we had Jim over, I was playing the things in my Jeep, and then I showed him the clip from the actual movie where RZA just goes, I just have other things in my Jeep. That song doesn't resonate with me. And he just started laughing. It was great. And
Cameo the movie.
yeah, I'm also picked up Teen Titans The Judas Contract, and I heard it was decent.
It's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's an interesting take on the Judas Contract story.
I feel like most of those new DCAU movies are like hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like Justice League Dark wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Bad Blood was like, it was cool that they brought those characters in, but I honestly can only remember like maybe the beginning of it.
Batwing did not need to be in the movie at all.
No. They were just kind of like, yeah, we need to give Batwoman a sidekick too for this.
And they really pushed home the whole storyline of she is gay. Look how gay she is.
But
Look at her going on a date with women.
It's like, okay,
Ooh.
I know that's very important to her character. I don't think I need to see it like 15 times out of her like 20 appearances in the
It's
movie.
kind of like the Killing Joke and the Babs story. Like, it's there, but it's not necessary.
It's so like everybody
seems...
associates it so much that they're like, we gotta get this in there.
see, the more that I think about certain stories, the more like out of touch I feel like. Like, Killing Joke for its time was supposed to be like this remarkable story.
Super edgy.
And then reading it now, it's like, Joker's monologue is amazing, but everything else in here isn't that great.
Can this not exist?
I can appreciate the Killing Joke as a movie without the Babs storyline. Like, take that out. It is a very good story in a film format.
Here we thought like the Babs story was gonna make it better. Oh no.
I get what they were going for. They were trying to make you care about her more instead of just going like, and fast forward to Joker shooting her. Why do we care about her?
But how can you go from like, Bruce Timm is amazing. How can you go from like Mask of Phantasm to the Killing Joke's Babs story? Like, I know Tim is probably fulfilling some dark fantasy with the Bruce and Babs relationship, but like Mask of Phantasm, Emmy Award winning, amazing, beautiful thing. Killing Joke, 6.5 out of 10.
But I mean, you watch that part and you have to wonder if Bruce Timm was totally in control of that part. Well, because you go and watch like the actual recreation of the book, which was point for point, like exactly the book.
I mean, you only have 80 pages to go off of.
But at the same time, you watch the Babs part of the story, and the dialogue and just everything is so
Well, the
off.
other writer on that, I think it was Bruce Timm and Brian Azzarello. I don't know if anyone else was on it. I know J.M. DeMatteis does a lot of the animated stuff as well.
Me fact check.
Or Brian Q. Miller. But the two of them, like, I love Azzarello. He's very hit or miss on some stories. Like Batman Europa, where Batman's globetrotting around the world, poisoned, and the Joker's poisoned too. Freaking amazing story.
Yeah, that was a good one. Like, it was a cool concept.
Yeah, and then, like I said, at the same time, there's some, like, really hit or miss things, like what's going on in Dark Knight 3. Like, ooh, this isn't that great. But then you get the Jason Todd story, The Last Crusade. I'm like, holy shit, this is better than the rest of that crap.
The Last Crusade was fucking amazing.
So,
that's the one Dark Knight 3 thing.
Brian Azzarello has the sole writing credit.
Okay.
Bruce Timm produced it, along with Alan Burnett, Sam Register, and directed by Sam Liu.
Okay. See, I'm very curious to see how the new Bruce Timm thing is going to go, the Batman and Harley Quinn story. Because the old DCAU style. It's the straight up Tim style.
I'm excited because it looks like it's the Batman the Animated Series for adults. Like, they're taking things and going like we can now go to a more mature audience with this, so let's go with it. It's the only part I find weird is the Harley and Nightwing hooking up.
Nightwing hooks up with everyone.
Harley hooks up with everyone apparently now.
Well, and the one scene they showed about them hooking up is with Dick tied up to bedposts and be like, we shouldn't do this. We really shouldn't.
I'm into it.
And then Harley just turning off lights like, it's happening. Like,
But at the same time, like, that has to be his kink at this point, right? He always got kidnapped back in the Golden Age, always tied up.
Call me Boy Wonder.
It's Jason's reverse kink.
Jason.
Flashbacks.
Jason's like, no
bondage. Again. No bondage.
Put the whip away. So, speaking of teenage
maybe
sidekicks,
the friendship was really just all the kinks we made along the way.
It's gonna make that joke. But speaking of sidekicks, Runaways got reannounced. We've been teased the past 2 weeks by all these new Anka recreations, and
I already won mic punch.
It finally, I didn't punch the mic.
You did something.
He dropped his phone.
It was a very loud tonk.
Okay.
He was lifting up, then dropped it.
Runaways is going to be written by Rainbow Rowell, who wrote Eleanor and Park, a young adult novel, and artist Chris Anka as the creative team, launching in September. So Rowell said, "This is my favorite Marvel book. When Nick Lowe first reached out to me a few years ago about maybe working for Marvel, it was the first thing I asked him about. Runaways will star Nico, Chase, Carolina, Molly, Old Lance, and a revived Gertrude Gert Yorks, who's featured in the latest teaser for the series." Rainbow goes on to say that the first story arc will involve getting the band back together. It's kind of funny calling them the Runaways because it's not like they're the Avengers or the X-Men. They're not formed with a mission and a purpose. They're just kids who ended up in the same boat. At the beginning of the series, they're scattered to the four winds and half of them are dead. One of the challenges now is who are they when they're apart? They've got them thrown together, but now they've been pulled apart. They're trying to figure out who they really are without each other. This arc is very much about them choosing to be together. So, thoughts?
I'm excited. Again, I fucking love
My concern is we've had very hit or miss young adult writers coming and writing books for Marvel as of late. Like,
I'm willing to give...
Who else wrote a young adult book for Marvel?
Or I guess like more of a young adult style. Like I'm concerned that it's gonna go more towards that end of the spectrum, and which can be hit or miss in terms of like what audience it's actually for. So that's kind of my biggest concern. I love that Anka's doing all the art because all of his redesigns are amazing.
Mm-hmm. So one of the big things that Nick Lowe said when he was talking about is like the original concept of the Runaways was, what if all of these kids had supervillains for parents? And that's what brought them together. So Lowe was saying that they were searching for a new twist on these characters, and what Rainbow came up with is something really incredible, and we'll start seeing those story elements, and he doesn't want to give them away. So Anka came into the story because of the huge... Oh my god, there's an ad on my screen.
You're not talking into the mic!
Sorry, but there's an ad on my screen. So Anka came in to the series and just to kind of like give all these kids new fashion. Like Nick Lowe thought he was the perfect person for it because he draws such like highly well-adjusted individual characters. And I gotta say, like, everyone's new outfit is pretty awesome. Yeah, new Star-Lord, and just slowly helping redesign most of Marvel's outfits. Him and McKelvey are killing it. Yeah,
they have really good design choices.
So I'm curious, like, what would be the reason for all of them to come back together? Would it be like, we can revive Gertz or something?
They already said Gert was revived. Right?
Well, she could be the reason they come together and then gets revived. Or I'm thinking she just gets revived, and then whoever finds her's like, hey guys, we need to talk.
Let's get the band back together, literally, because that was in the press statement. Yeah, I don't know. I want to enjoy the book quite a bit just because I love Anka on things, but Most of the team books on Marvel have been falling flat for me when I read them. Like, I love team books. I love the Justice Leagues, the Teen Titans, and all that stuff. But every time I pick up a Marvel team book, I just can't get engaged. Like, Jeff Lemire is one of my favorite writers, but I could not just run through his X-Men run as well as I could read Old Man Logan, which, you know, he's writing the same character twice. If anything, right now, like, Colin Bune's X-Men Blue has been really interesting. And then, because they just picked up a Wolverine. They got Jimmy back. Jimmy Hudson, who is from the Ultimate Universe. So more and more pieces of the Ultimate Universe are filtering in.
They're going to reboot it. It's going to get rebooted.
I don't think it's going to get rebooted. I think it's just going to get reintroduced as a piece of the universe or a piece of the multiverse.
Yeah, you know, that's freaking the maker's job right now. You know, that's what he wants more than anything is his universe brought back. And slowly but surely, maybe. Who knows? We'll find out with Ultimates issue 100 coming this fall to your local comic book shop near you.
Sorry, there was a weird notification.
You're a weird notification.
Oh, Stat, how dare you?
Speaking of notifications, Colin Bune has come out as the official writer of the Venomverse, Edge of the Venomverse. And he's gone on to say Eddie Brock is going to be gathering a team full of different symbiotes across the multiverse, kind of in the same way
Edge of Spider-Verse worked.
Yeah, with Spider UK and all of them gathering people. And then he goes on to say, as a comment, that if Spider-Verse was Saving Private Ryan, then Venomverse is Die Hard.
If someone does not say yippee-ki-yay, I will be upset then.
I feel like this is, more than anything, this is up to Bune's alley. It's the horror style book.
If he's allowed to have fun with it and go really dark, I think it could be good. But if he, like, the reins get pulled on him, I mean, we've seen what happens when he tries to go too dark with a character. But I mean, Venom works better with a dark story than say Aquaman.
But I don't feel like Venom works. At least in the past years, Venom was not a villain for like 5 years.
He was just there.
He was with Flash. He was part of the Thunderbolts. He was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was a space knight for a while, doing all these heroic things. The symbiote was a very heroic thing.
Agent Venom was a thing.
Yeah. And when they did when they relaunched Venom this past 6 months, the symbiote was like, no, fuck this shit, I was a hero, help me.
How dare you kill all these people?
And then now that he's back with Eddie Brock, it's like, fuck all my character development over the past few years, take that, Bendis. Yeah, I don't know, I never thought I would say I miss Flash Thompson as Venom, but I mean, it's still better than like Matt Gargan as Venom.
Is that the guy who just
that's Scorpion
murdered? Oh, okay.
From that was during Dark Reign.
Who was the new one that just started murdering people?
It was just some random dude that's dead after 6 issues. Oh. So what's really cool is that there's a giant gallery of all the different Venom characters. So we have like Black Panther, Old Man Logan, the Hulk, Mary Jane, like a crazy amount of characters. So Bune goes on to say, part of picking this cast was definitely thinking about who readers would be most excited to see. But part of it is something that I've always found important, is how the Venom symbiote interacts with other hosts. What's really exciting is that we get to see this with characters you never expect. And then we have the antagonist called the Poisons, and they'll be taking over. They're another symbiote that's going to be taking over other Marvel characters. The Poisons will present a unique challenge for these Venoms, who are some of the strongest and most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. They're nature's answer to symbiotes. So at comicbook.com, we see Black Panther, Old Man Logan, Gwenpool, Porkgrind, who's the Venom from the Spider-Ham universe, Venomized Deadpool from another alternate universe. Just a lot of different characters. And like I said, if Bune takes this like where he wants to go, like just go full like horror style, I think this would be really cool.
Yeah, I would agree.
But
he works well with that dark stuff.
Yeah, and just the emotional horror aspect of going with it, because if this is a Venom symbiote traveling across multiple universes, imagine someone like X-23 getting possessed by the symbiote, and the symbiote feeding off all of her negative emotions, even though she's been redeeming herself, or some dude wearing a Cyclops' white shirt. So I don't know, man. Like, I want to really like it. And then the first issue that's coming out for the anthology series is a Punisher story written by Delkin Shalvey. So it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be pretty metal, but at the same time, I just don't like the current Venom's characterization. Like, I picked up issue 150 just to see it, like Eddie Brock's big triumphant return. And instead of being, the heroic character that he was as Anti-Venom or even Toxin, he's like, he goes to a church, talks to a priest, and then murders the priest. And it's like, ooh, look how edgy he is.
Ooh.
Edgelord.
And this is after, his symbiote got purified during the Guardians of the Galaxy run. So again, years of characterization down the toilet.
Gone immediately. I know Marvel's trying to like reset everything again with this whole legacy and everything else going on. But why do I get the feeling that they're not going to solve any of their problems because they're going to have an event like 2 months later?
No Marvel events for 18 months, they said.
They say. Then they're going to break that rule. I know it. Someone's going to come to them and say, hey, I have this really cool idea.
Can you make it a crossover and not an event by any chance? We don't want to relaunch all of... Oh, you can relaunch Rocket Raccoon after 3 issues? You're hired.
Because everybody wants that Rocket Raccoon book, right? Right?
Al Ewing's writing it right now. It's a heist story. I mean, again, if you told me the Lando Calrissian story would be freaking amazing, I would have called you a dirty liar, and then Charles Soule proved me wrong.
I mean, sure, but what? Rocket Raccoon maybe sells like what? Maybe 3,000 issues? Maybe. Like... Again, Marvel has too many books, and they're like, why should we care about
Rocket
this?
and Groot were in the same title, I think by Scotty Young, it sold pretty well, but
it's Scotty Young too, it has that big name attached to it.
That's fair. But Al Ewing, he's wonderful.
He's a good writer.
Yeah, and I feel like a Rocket Raccoon heist story would be really interesting. But then it's like, where does this fit into the canon? We have 3 Guardians of the Galaxy books out right now. I was at the comic shop.
Which one started, which one ended, which one is ongoing?
I went to the comic shop, and there were actually people talking about it. It's like, okay, this is Guardians of the Galaxy one shot, this is Guardians of the Galaxy, and then this is Guardians of the Galaxy, insert subtitle here. Which one is the current ongoing title? Well, that one's a one shot, so don't worry about it. And then these 2 are just... That one's the main story, and this one's written by the original Guardians team. And the guy's like, man, this is confusing. I'm not buying any of these. I'm like,
poor John.
Oh, God.
I feel for John so much. Like, I imagine, like, anytime he sees, like, this series is getting rebooted, I bet he just slams his fist down on the table, like, not again! Damn it, Marvel!
It's one of my favorite things is we're talking about his orders. It's like, yeah, All-Star Batman didn't get ordered for you because it was only the B covers, and the B covers had this specific artist. But since that specific artist isn't doing those covers anymore, I just never ordered it for you. I'm like, it's okay. I'll take the A cover. Thanks. I feel so much for comic shop owners now. I never want to run a comic shop.
Because they'll never actually have time to read anything like John does.
Poor John. He read Regression. He told me it was awesome. That's still sitting in my to-read box.
Woo.
Yay. Steve, what are your thoughts on Venom?
I've never been a huge Venom fan. I didn't really care when they announced Eddie Brock's going to be back as Venom. Ooh. Because I didn't care.
Do you think people are upset with us every time we talk about Marvel anymore?
I don't know.
There's just so much sarcasm.
I feel like they got to be with us on some points. It's just like, yeah, that's a really dumb thing they're doing.
Every now and again, we throw out some good things about Marvel.
Yeah, like in Secret Empire this week when one
Haven't read it yet. Shush your face.
Someone dies.
Shush your face.
Someone lives.
Your face needs to
Someone turns into a Hydra agent.
Can't help but noticing your face is not shushed right now.
Shh. Did you hear they're rebooting Saw?
Yes, I have heard that.
I don't know why I
Don't know
thought about
why
that
they
just
are.
now. But, Saw 8, it's going to be sick. If you're into torture porn.
Oh.
The Saw, okay, the
that
Saw
used
movies.
to be my guilty pleasure is the Saw movies.
Hollywood's running out of 80s movies to reboot, and
Now they're
horror movies.
rebooting in the early 2000s.
Yep.
But Saw actually had a good story. Like, once you go past all the torture porn, it's a really good movie.
90% of the movie.
I wonder if there's like a massive edit that puts all of Saw in chronological order.
Can I
Poor Donnie
just
Wahlberg.
make an edit of that? Just somebody do it. Just cut out all the torture porn scenes.
I think Elijah Wood made an edit of one of the Star Wars movies and got rid of all the miscellaneous crap.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
But
I was actually I think he put I think it was all through prequels into one, edited into one movie, and he cut out all the bullshit. I think it was like a Star Wars supercut.
Super. It's like that legendary 3-hour cut of Phantom Menace that only Jake Lloyd has ever seen. And he said it was the best thing he's ever saw. Rest in peace. Prequel.
We'll
Not
never
Jake
know.
Lloyd. Jake Lloyd's fine.
I was
Truly
gonna say
will
Jake
never
Lloyd
know.
is pretty much alive right now,
He's doing great.
isn't he? In jail?
Oh
Who
god.
knows? I'll put my
Text
phone on.
massage.
Okay, I'm on silence now. Okay. In other news, not because there wasn't in the news this
Yay,
week,
fifth week of May.
Manu Bennett is campaigning for a Deathstroke series.
I would be down. I'd be absolutely down for that.
Hey,
Like
kid.
the TV series.
Yeah.
I just did that. My leg's falling asleep here.
Why not sit on the pool table?
Because it'd be just as bad.
Okay. You could stretch the mic out all the way and just lie down
This is fine. This will work.
as everything's on fire around you. Everything is fine.
That's how the world is right now.
So, Manu Bennett, someone tweeted at him saying, "What would you do for a solo series?" And it's
What
like,
would
well,
you do?
the fans need to campaign for this and let CW know this is what they want. And I'm like, I really don't need another CW show right now.
I would be okay with it.
We don't need
I
it
love,
anymore, though.
Yeah, I do love Manu Bennett as Deathstroke, but I'm trying to figure out if they go by the Arrow season 5 ending and continue a story there, maybe he wants to go reunite with his children or something.
That would be cool to see Jericho and Rose come into play.
We kind of saw Rose. It was the lady from
kind of.
Firefly. She was the Rose XP of that series. But
The one who pulled a Talia al Ghul on Oliver.
yeah, and then we saw Grant in Legends. But
Yeah, that's right.
look, children, I'm good again. I'm not an assassin.
I would more like him to see him go down the mercenary route. Or maybe a
But-
prequel event of how he wound up on Lian Yu.
No more flashbacks.
No.
It does. I'm not saying a flashback. Just
joking.
him being a mercenary before taking the Lian
Right.
Yu contract.
I feel like
with Billy
if
Wintergreen.
it were just an 8-episode series, just a mini
mini
series,
series.
it would do really well. Kind of like how Vixen is only 6 episodes or one movie if you want to watch it, and that's really cool.
I thought Vixen got a season 2.
Yeah, they did. It was Vixen the movie. So, or how they're rebooting Constantine for an animated universe, and then Swamp Thing's gonna be in it.
Yes.
You always need more Swamp Thing in your life.
More Swamp Thing 2017.
Unless you're playing Injustice 2. Then Swamp Thing is poopy.
Do they do the angelic Swamp Thing in Injustice?
His win animation is him sprouting the wings and flying up.
Okay.
And just essentially being like, I must protect the green. Woo.
Is he not a good character?
No, he's good. Well, fighting wise, he's poopy. He's very slow.
You fighting him?
Darbo.
No,
Oh, no.
you fighting as him.
Okay.
Damn.
He is
It wasn't me this week.
I know.
he is slow,
Okay.
and I just don't like slow characters.
That's fair.
I'm all about the speed.
I'm trying to keep my leg from falling asleep.
All about the
Very
speed
comfortable.
force.
My favorite picture that came out of this week was another goddamn it Barry meme, and it's the Wonder Woman photo, Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, and then Logan, Steve Rogers, and Bucky. And it's goddamn it Barry, because again,
Fucking
Barry
with the
Allen
timeline.
doesn't want to fuck Iris, wants to fuck that timeline. Apparently, that's all he does.
Now he's being a goddamn hero, and now I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in the next season.
Iris died again, didn't she too?
She died, but she came back, and then they walked into the Speed Force together.
Nope.
Fun.
No, I didn't watch the season finale.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to throw out the deets?
Did they fall? Did Barry go into the Speed Force?
Yes.
Okay.
Are they resending?
Is Iris
the
alive?
timeline again?
Yes.
Okay. Don't know
You
how
were
I pulled
half
that
right.
out of my ass.
So, do we want to throw a little spoilers on here?
Sure.
So it wasn't Iris. It never was Iris.
It was HR.
It was HR.
Oh!
It was HR using his goddamn face disguiser thing.
There's a face disguiser.
Yeah, it's the reason. Like that's the whole reason he can exist in the universe, and everyone's
my
like,
God.
"Hey, there's the serial killer Harrison Wells."
I-
Is he changed his face to look like his partner from his universe?
I don't think I ever watched that episode. Like, I remember when they opened the museum, I'm like, man, it's really weird that he's just walking around.
You saw the face disguiser with the Captain Cold episode when Barry disguised himself as Mrs. Diggle.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, so it was he took Savitar's blade to go find Savitar's suit, found Iris, changed their faces around, and then had them let the HR go. And then they played it off as like, oh no, Iris died. And then HR's like, nope, psych, I'm HR. Iris is fine. Now I'm dead.
So we do get the continuation of Tom Cavanaugh coming back as a new character.
Well, he's going to be Harry again.
Or
So
Harry?
far, yes.
Yay!
Because so they...
Do you want my chair?
You remember they hid Iris
Might work
on
better.
Earth
Okay.
2. Okay, so I'm going to keep going while they're switching chairs. So they hid Iris on Earth 2, and then Harry came with and be like, yo, they took Iris. Let's stop this shiz. And then they kidnapped Cisco to change the Speed Force bazooka to make it so Savitar did not disappear anymore. Since Iris didn't die, Savitar wouldn't exist anymore because paradoxes. And then...
Wasn't there the Black Racer too at some point?
Yes. So
That's in Legends.
well, no, he was in.
Oh, he
Flash
came
too.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he is essentially now the Speed Force death. Like if you have the Speed Force and you shouldn't be alive, Black Racer's going to come get you. So,
Go,
but
Black Racer,
I think he's dead now because he came out of the Speed Force and Caitlin froze him and shattered him, and she had a sweet line of "Good to see you again, Zolomon." Like,
Is Caitlin a good guy again?
ish.
Ish.
So wait, did
Okay.
she go full?
She
Killer
went
Frost?
full Killer Frost, but then had a change of heart at the end of the episode because Caitlin fought back with Killer Frost. But she's like, I'm neither Killer Frost nor Caitlin anymore. I have to go find out who I am.
Caitlin Frost.
Bye.
So wait, hold on. Since I haven't watched since the last season, so she got her powers
By
this season?
Flashpoint, yes.
Okay.
Flashpoint changes to where she got her Killer Frost powers.
And Draco Malfoy helped her suppress those powers with some
With a
really-
pendant.
Yeah.
And then when she died because she got shanked by someone, can't remember who, he tore the pendant off to keep her alive, and then she went full Killer Frost.
What happened, Draco Malfoy?
He's still alive.
Okay.
He's still kicking. So the Speed Force bazooka that they were going to use to keep Savitar in reality, so he could essentially, the bazooka was going to make him exist in every second ever. So he would just be time itself. So he couldn't just stay alive forever and be a god. But Cisco, being that wacky Cisco guy, changed the bazooka to where it was like a key to get Jay out of the Speed Force prison.
Is it also a gun?
It was also a gun.
It's a key gun.
So Jay came out of the
key that
Speed
unlocks
Force,
your death.
and they had this awesome, like a super fucking awesome sequence of Barry, Wally, and Jay all fighting Savitar in like slow motion Speed Force time. But then it turns out the Speed Force prison needs a prisoner, or the Speed Force needs someone in there since Savitar's no longer in there. It's gonna go crazy, and it's just striking all over Central City. So Barry's like,
Speed Force Storm.
I wish it was the Speed Force Storm, but at the same time, Barry's like, I know what I must do, and they have this moment of I gotta go, I love you guys, I gotta go, and then Barry's mom comes out of a Speed Force tunnel, but it's the Speed Force itself as Barry's mom.
You remember Runaway Dinosaur?
The one where Barry got trapped in the Speed Force and everyone cried because Barry's mom read him a story.
It's season 2. I don't know if you watched it. It's the Kevin Smith episode.
Did I watch it?
It's the one where Barry was hooked up to the machine and then disappeared, and it was like, he's dead, but he's in the Speed Force.
If you have
yeah.
I was going to say, if you haven't watched that episode, we're going to go back upstairs. We're going to stop the podcast.
No, I remember that one.
That episode made me cry. But that Speed Force mom comes out and is like, Barry, it's okay. You've reached your finish line. It's time to rest. So they walk into the Speed Force, and end of the season.
What's going to happen next?
Do we get Wally?
I'm assuming
Wally's still a speedster.
Well, yeah, because
Grant Gustin comes back as Wally West.
Because Barry, before he left, he was like, Wally, it's up to you to protect the city. And then he went to Harris and was like, I need you to stay around and take care of them, help them out. And Harry agreed. So we're going to probably keep Harry for the next season, hopefully. Meanwhile, Jesse Quick is still in Earth 3. And no one seemed to talk to her about this whole situation. But in theory, there might be more speedsters around now. Because it struck all over the city. So maybe people got struck. I hope they don't. I hope they stay true to their word and say no speedster villain. And then, sure, season 5, go ahead, use Godspeed. That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Like build up to it.
Introduce,
like let people get attached to some of these new speedsters potentially.
Essentially,
and
pull a Zolomon / Jay.
I'm Jay Carrick.
Where
not really.
You introduce this character, you get to know him, and then later it turns out, oh shit, he's a villain. What?
Oh, no.
Like introduce the new guy at the CSI, like Barry's replacement. Like, hey, look, there's this new guy. His name is who I can't remember Godspeed's name off the top of my head right now.
August.
Yes, August. Like, look, his name is August. Nice to meet you. Now get to love this character.
And then all of the comic book fans are like, oh, fuck, it's Godspeed!
Like, no, don't trust him. Don't trust him, Wallace.
Oh, God. I would honestly kill for a God. Again, I guess, like, Jay was almost like the pre-Godspeed. You know, it's like, I used my time remnants and I fought myself.
Yeah, kind of. It's the same concept.
Yeah. But Godspeed's even faster.
He's so fast he can create 2 of him.
He's God.
Speed. But it'll be interesting to see. Like, I would love to see if they pulled like a reverse comics right now, where you have Black Wally become the Flash, and then introduce a Ginger Wally who becomes Kid Flash, and just like, oh.
You haven't watched the Arrow finale,
when do we get Impulse? When does he jump from the
Bart Allen comes from the future. Where's Grandpa?
Where's my dad?
Yeah.
Where's my grandpa?
It's like, I came to see Grandpa. Ooh.
You just missed him.
If you run fast enough, you might go into the Speed Force and see him, but you might not come back.
Well, that's like Bart's MO, is that he always goes in the Speed Force and then pops back out.
Well, and people are speculating that there's going to be a Flash time skip. Like they're going to go like 5 years into the future and then pick up the story from there. I don't remember why people are saying that. I think there might have been like
maybe a few months.
I could see a few months, but because if they do that, Arrow would have to go for a 5-year time skip too.
Do we finally get the Flash Museum? Like Barry comes back and then there's the Flash Museum.
Oh my God, they have the perfect way of setting it up now.
They could
the Flash Memorial Museum.
They could even set up a Rogue War with the Flash Museum.
They could do so many things, but we are not writers for TV shows.
No. Maybe, well, because HR is gone, he was the only one who wanted the Star Museum going. But maybe Cisco's like, in memory of the Flash, I'm going to make a Flash Museum.
Hey,
with all the gear I've made for Flash.
Have you guys ever wondered what happened to Barry Allen? Oh, he's on vacation.
Weird. Barry Allen disappeared the same time the Flash did.
Never saw them at the same time either.
That's so weird. What do you think about that, Clark Kent?
How about you, Bruce Wayne?
Oliver Queen, what are your thoughts?
They're all just... someone said it's like we are closer to maybe getting Batman in the CW universe now that we finally have a Superman and Supergirl. Like, at what point do we finally get a Bat family character? Because we've kind of been to Bloodhaven. At least Roy was in Bloodhaven. So maybe we get...
What if Jesse Quick comes back from Earth 3. It's like, yeah, it was great fighting crime there. I met this guy who dressed up like a bat.
Well, like, there's still the Titans TV show, and a lot of people are like, 15 reasons why, or this is CBR, it's like 8 reasons why Titans should be its own thing, and 7 reasons why it should be on the CW universe.
Batman on Arrow.
Flaro. It's no longer the Arrow universe, it's the Flaro universe. The Legends of Flaro.
The Legends of Flaro.
The Legends of Flaro Girl.
DC, we have a new hero.
Flaro Girl.
She shoots super fast arrows.
And is also an alien.
With heat vision.
And jumps through time.
Boom.
She has a trick arrow that just opens time portals.
Yes.
That's actually something I really want because we have Legends Season 3 coming up. We know that the Firestorms, Rip, Sarah, Steel, and I think Ray and Vixen are staying. But I really want them to introduce a couple more peeps to the team. I think Mick is still there too.
Mick is still there. Rip is not.
Because Rip is starting his own Time Master universe. But there's a promotional picture for Season 3 with Rip on it. So
right, because he said he was leaving, but since they fucked up time, he didn't really have a chance to leave. Because he said his goodbyes, and then it was like, cool, we're gonna go fly the ship now. And then
finished Season 1.
No.
The ending seriously messed me up. Like, once it was all the bullshit of the Hawks, and Rip was like, I've time traveled to the point of my family's death this many times, and no matter what I do, I can't stop it.
Yeah, it's like an obscene amount of times.
Oh my God.
You're like,
it's a Booster Gold moment.
It is a booster moment.
Good thing he's his son.
We're still waiting. Give me my blue and gold. They have... Well, I guess Ray is technically the Ted Cord XP. But we have Cord Industries and Arrow.
Yeah.
Ted should exist.
They straight up talk about Cord Industries and stealing something from Cord Industries. So just introduce a Theodore Cord.
I'm waiting for... See, I want them to add new characters to the Legends team, especially once they dealt with oh shit, we have meta villains now instead of just Al Capone. Oh God, Steve, you need to watch Arrow.
I'm gonna go home after. Actually, no, I'm going to my parents after this, but I need to watch those last 4 episodes.
So Merlin, Damien Dark, and the Reverse Flash were all buddies for the most part in Season 2.
They were, as you would call them, a Legion of Doom. They actually gave
that's a stupid name.
That Steel straight up calls them the Legion of Doom.
So the 3 of them were buddies, and then at the end of Legends, they brought everyone back to their proper point in time. So Merlin went back to his apartment with his hand gone still. Merlin died, or no, not Merlin died. Damien Dark died, and then
no, he didn't die.
Dark didn't die. Well,
no,
canonically,
yeah. Well, they dropped Dark back off in the Al Capone time, erase his memories.
Oh.
Did the same thing with Captain Cold, has brought him back to the point that they took him from, the exact moment they took him from, and erased his memory so he knows nothing of the legends or what happens to him.
They become legends. No one cares about you.
They essentially...
That's the plot twist.
They essentially took everyone back to their time, erased their memories, and be like,
okay,
fuck off.
But for Legends next season, I want them to use some of the multiverse characters. We need to save the multiverse. Who has that ending in Injustice where all of the different multiverse characters come?
Green Arrow.
Yeah. So they come in and Jesse rips through a time portal. Connor, John Diggle Jr. rips through a time portal. It's we're here to help.
Well, again, that is plausible because they fucked up time in the season finale.
Yeah.
They crash land because their ship can't handle the time quakes, and they're in New York City with Big Ben and Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Yeah, and the Arrow...
Good job.
The Arrow future can't happen anymore to the degree that it did.
It theoretically can.
It can't happen because it did.
It's kind of like the Steins Gate rule, the world lines.
Because
did I tell you about what happened in Heroes and Halfwits?
No, did they? Wait, about the alternate timelines?
Yeah, they broke time, and they're in a place where there's no time, and one of their characters is from their future, and then they're from the past, and they're in the middle area where time does not exist anymore.
Good God.
So like if that happened to Connor, it's like, yeah, my timeline was erased and this giant blue dick came through, starting to taking everything away. Gotta throw in that Dr. Manhattan reference.
But yeah, it's plausible for them to bring in a lot more people, like Golden Age characters or future characters or Booster Gold or Blue Beetle, because time's all fucked now. And at the same time, we have two different, or theoretically three timelines, because Flashpoint didn't erase the timeline. It just created a new...
Splintered it.
Yeah, a new timeline where theoretically there are two Barry Allens missing now. Because you have the first timeline that Barry created Flashpoint from.
You finished Steins Gate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, he started the first line, and then now that Barry Allen's gone because he went in the past. Then there was one where his parents are alive. Now that Barry Allen's gone. But there are still timelines that exist.
God damn it, Barry.
Also, the second timeline where Oliver Queen is dead. I think Ollie died in the second Flashpoint timeline.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep, he did.
And then Earth 2, I think Robert is...
Robert became Green Arrow because he stayed alive. Oliver died. And now there's a vigilante out there. It's like, okay, so it's essentially Flashpoint, but instead of Thomas Wayne becoming Batman, it's Robert Queen becoming Green Arrow. Do you think
Robert Queen, like, full on, he wears, like, the Golden Age costume? He has the stupid hat.
With the Robin Hood hat. How dare you call that stupid?
I'm not doing this for my son. I'm just doing this because it's fun.
I want them to make that, like, a little Easter egg nod in the next season of just, like, if he's good, because flashbacks are done. We're done with flashbacks. That means we can get the Arrow goatee. It can finally happen. Do it, CW.
I think that's on Stephen Amell's things he won't do is the goatee in a musical episode.
Well, he says that.
Well, however, he went on Twitter and says, if we get renewed for season 6, I will grow the goatee. And then right after they got renewed, like hundreds of people screenshotted that and sent him like,
Did you see him on a Ninja Warrior?
I haven't watched it yet. I saw like the first. I saw it right up until he got to the salmon ladder. And I'm like, he's going to do it. Cuts off the clip. I'm like, watch the episode. Like, no.
He
so close.
Like, I understand why professionals aren't allowed to do it.
It's just unfair.
Like, he makes it look so much easier. But speaking of time, Life is Strange.
I don't
prequel.
Well, no, the professionals thing on Ninja Warrior.
It's a contract thing,
right?
Like,
however,
but
the stunt woman from Supergirl ran the course,
right?
But it's like Stephen Amell.
And she destroyed it.
Stephen Amell doing the salmon ladder at the very end. It's like, oh, it's the Arrow thing. And my dad's like, what do you mean? It's like, no, that's like in the first season of Arrow, anytime he did a shirtless shot, they would do the salmon ladder.
Like, I had to explain to my dad why it was hilarious that they had the salmon ladder on his course. He watches Arrow, but it didn't dawn on him. I was like, think about every other scene in the Arrow cave. Ding, 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 ding. And then even when Barry did, it's just like super speed. Like, I don't get why that's so challenging. Fuck you, Flash.
I really wish our gym had a salmon ladder.
Didn't Theo tried to do it at 1.2, or was it
Felicity?
Felicity.
That's right.
She fell on her ass.
I think. Well, and Mr. Terrific also did it, and he fell on his ass too.
Mr. Terrific's coming back. He's in Dark Days.
Does he have his T orbs?
He has the T face, and
Does he have the
has
jacket
the fair
with
play jacket.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Scott Snyder confirmed Plastic Man is coming back, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Sorry, I got really excited.
Ridiculous character.
Like, he said he's bringing back multiple old characters. But
for Dark Days?
Yes. But speaking of time.
When comes that next week?
Life is Strange prequel concept art got leaked out onto the internet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a story of...
It's pretty much how Rachel
Chloe met
Rachel, yeah. And so why everyone loves Rachel and is sad that she's gone.
Rachel! Where is she? So there's an Imager album that got posted today, which... So Game Cult found one of the screenshots on a server of Deck 9 Games' official website before it was promptly removed. A user on Game Cult forums then alerted them to an Imager album posted earlier, which includes the screenshot found on Deck 9 server in addition to others. According to NeoGAF user Jinx, NX. Deck 9 Games, which teased a narrative-driven title from a leading AAA publisher to be announced at E3 2017, has been working on a prequel to Life is Strange for a while. The game will reportedly let players explore the relationship between Chloe and Rachel. So Don't Nod kind of like push the rights. It's like, here, you can play with our universe because we already have the definitive end.
I don't know how I feel about the prequel, though, because the big part about Life is Strange was the being able to reverse your choices or save someone's life, whereas it's just
or be a dick and watch somebody get hit.
Unless Rachel somehow has the time power.
This is what Zach and I talked about at the gym.
Like, what if Rachel? I think it was your theory.
So my theory is that Rachel also I was joking around about a Life is Strange universe where each game has a different character that has different powers. In this case, Rachel has the time rewinding powers because we see Chloe at various stages.
Or some other variation of them.
And then she gets the blue hair eventually.
Right.
So what if when Rachel dies, that's the end game choice. It's like you either die or you let Chloe die, something like that again. But when she dies, her powers get transferred over to Max in some fashion.
Like how the whole Barry is a speed force and he chose things like the power kind of sits on Chloe, and then when you meet Max,
because
it kind of
a lot of people view the blue butterfly in the bathroom as Chloe, like that's her kind of symbol. But Rachel's the one with the butterfly tattoo. So like I was joking around with Zach. I'm like, what if they do like this multiple season thing? And eventually, the last game of Life is Strange is all the teenagers coming together.
The Time Lords.
Yes. In some way.
They'll be the Time Masters.
The Time Lords.
And then one guy will show up and be like, hi, my name's Rip. I see you have the power to control time.
So what's really interesting to me is that we never see Rachel's face in any of the photos from the concept art.
Well, and I saw one of the photos like where it's the tree burning is like there was someone who was kind of potentially reaching.
Yeah, they're like bowing down in front of it.
Like one of them's curled up in front of it, but the other one's kind of like holding their hands out. I saw that as like a shielding the face thing, but someone's like, wait, her hands are out. What if that's someone using their
Chloe.
Powers?
I zoomed in on it. Yeah, it's like slowly they're developing all these mutants. I'm like, life really is strange, guys.
Well,
this life is so peculiar. Damn it, Max! You had your chance.
You blew it.
But you see, the great part about this is we get even older memes, if this is true. We get memes dating a couple years before Life is Strange.
Oh, no. Like, do we get Doge meme? Like
no, Doge was...
No, it would be like... Well, because the whole Rachel and Chloe thing was how long before Life is Strange started?
It was like a year.
Like a year before?
Yeah, it wasn't that much. It wasn't that long before it. Because they were still technically looking for Rachel because nobody knew what happened to her.
Right, so that means Chloe can quote memes previous to that.
Oh, no.
I just like again, my favorite moment of Life is Strange is Max saying, let's go mosh.
It's like, oh, you adorable nerd.
Yeah. But we do know that this Deck 9's game prequel is separate from Don't Nod's eventual sequel to Life is Strange. And, Don't Nod did confirm, yeah, we're making it. It's in development. Here's a 30-minute video of us kind of just talking about what we've been working on. And do remember, we did say Life is Strange 2 may not feature the same characters or the same powers because, you know what? Life is strange.
Well, I mean, we already know how Rachel's story ends.
Exactly.
So...
we think we know how.
We find her body.
Yeah,
right. But
Jefferson's the one.
But what happens between that and her going missing?
Exactly. Like
runaways.
Exactly.
My guess is that Jefferson either kidnaps Chloe originally, and Rachel has to make the decision: do I let them kill her, or do I let him kill her, or do I take her place?
That's fair.
And then that's how everything for the first one gets.
Maybe we see Kate at that party, and we finally know what happened to her.
Yeah.
Poor Kate.
And then
too pure for this world.
The very last scene is Chloe driving her truck. And who's that you see in the background? Max.
Nathan. They're about to meet in the bathroom. Again.
Click.
I found this awesome fan art of Life is Strange, because when the game got announced again, so I went to go on the Reddit to see the comments, and someone's like, the middle ending of Life is Strange. And I'm like, middle ending? Click. It brings up someone's Tumblr page, and it's like, Max rewinding all through time. It's like, okay, I can let Arcadia Bay get destroyed, or I can let my bay get destroyed. I'm choosing the third option and lets herself get shot by Nathan. Chloe gets stepdad arrests Nathan. Jefferson gets exposed, and Max is critically wounded in the hospital, and Chloe finds her journal with, remember, because Max can rewind with any of her physical items. So it's Chloe reading through the journal as Max is in bed healing, and she's like, what the fuck is this? Going up to Max and them having a happy ending with everyone alive. And I'm like, that would have been a cool middle ending.
Like, you have to do like certain events perfectly to get that option.
It's the suicide mission. It literally is a suicide mission.
Yeah, it's like the suicide mission in Mass Effect, where you have to do it perfectly if you don't want anyone dead.
What am I? Some kind of suicide squad?
There is that, because you have to water the plant every day. You have to free the bird. Because remember, when you do those two things, the freaking plant and the bird remember it. Like, those are critical options in the game that no one knows what they did.
I didn't know what they did.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I never did any of those.
I never really thought about that. I was like, what did that mean? Like, was the bird going to transform into like some giant Lord of the Rings eagle and save me? Or
that was also...
Like, I remember!
That was also another meme.
Blows the tornado away.
Like, everyone...
The plant turns into Swamp Thing and be like, the green remembers.
That was another thing. It's like the true Life is Strange heroes, and it's the bird taking the plant and dropping it on Nathan's head at the beginning of the game. And it's like, there, we saved you so much time.
Don't ruin this for us.
Or the bird attacks Jefferson, and the plant has a piece of paper that says Jefferson did it.
So
it's like a map to his
the
lab.
Don't Nod sequel will not be at E3 this year, which I'm okay with, because
it's probably still super.
I'm okay with things taking a break from E3. Just
Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah, what game do we have to wait for now?
That was another one of my favorite memes. It's like,
I don't know, Zach. What game do we have to wait for now?
I love all of my E3 traditions. Waiting for the Zelda announcement, Final Fantasy. Those are released.
Oh, you're
we
right.
We still have Kingdom Hearts for our grandchildren one day.
Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 7. I don't give two shits about the Final Fantasy 7 right now. That can take its time. But boy, I wonder what other game we have to wait for.
Hitman.
Could be, within the next 3 years. Fucking Square Enix.
Good guy Square Enix, though, did say they would release the rights to Hitman for IO to keep making the game. So I'm okay with that.
So cool. Yeah, whatever. Hitman fans can get their game. Cool. They've been waiting so long for their game.
Can you pass the salt? I imagine Steve being the spice guy, just the
salt bay.
Crank his arm up and then sprinkle it down. And it's just over Square Enix.
Yep.
We have a Photoshop if anyone wants to do that for Steve.
Or Ignis with just spice.
Oh man, I love chocobos. Ignis learned a new recipe.
It's like, I've learned a new recipe written in a book.
I've got a new recipe. I love Final Fantasy IV. I got a new recipe.
I'm sad that Twitter has become inactive. I haven't seen a new Ignis recipe in a long time.
Yeah. We just gotta go on the subreddit and look for memes now. Did you see that Ray Chase actually cosplayed as a Chocobo Noctis?
No.
From the Chocobo Festival? He attended a convention as a Noctis cosplayer, wearing the Chocobo hat, a Chocobo apron, and everything.
Oh my God.
And then so everyone's like, wow, I love your Noctis cosplay. It's like, why, thanks. And then he went to the panel and just walked right up onto the stage and just sat down in front of everyone. And there's like amazing photos from the event too, for all of you audio listeners that
which
cannot
is all
see
of
this.
You.
Exactly. One day we'll do video. So at 20,000 followers, I will cosplay Noctis. Was the original thing, and I can't find the cosplay right now. I'm gonna have to go on his Twitter. But that's all the news actually, E3. I want to talk about really quick. So before we started talking at the podcast, I was telling Steve I wasn't really excited for E3 because I don't like this whole, okay, look, all these cool things that get announced and will never come out for 2 or 3 years. Like, again, Breath of the Wild, Final Fantasy. Like, I got so hyped for the Final Fantasy VII Remake because they were like, oh, look, you can play this one mission. I'm like, oh my God! And then just nothing ever came out. But what do you guys hope will either be at E3, announced at E3, or revealed at E3?
Kingdom Hearts release date. A goddamn Kingdom Hearts release date. You've been teasing me long enough, Square Enix.
So then it can get delayed?
As long as I have a date to look forward to. If it gets delayed, sure, another date to look forward to. I just want something concrete. Not just, now in development.
What about something asphalt?
What?
He says something concrete, something asphalt.
Go fuck yourself.
I
want more Switch titles, like third party as well as first party Switch titles, because I'm loving my Switch.
Yeah, I finally have 2 games for it.
I have
such a new world.
Wow.
I have a full on Chubster for my Switch right now. Like, I stopped playing Persona 5, which I was super pumped about, because I got Legend of Zelda, and I have not had a day that I haven't played it a little bit.
I definitely want to see more, like, the actual details on the Scorpio. I know they released, like, the tech, like, some of the specs on it.
Native 4K.
But I actually want, like, I want to see some gameplay on it, because I'll actually be able to see what it looks like since I have a 4K TV.
Right.
And, like, obviously the price point's going to be a big thing, because that's everybody's big question, like, are they going to stick with, like, a $500 price point, or is it going to be more? Like, what's going on here?
We have the Funhouse drinking game of E3, and one of their things is
Scorpio price greater than...
If it's under 400, take 2 shots. If it's over 500, take 2 shots.
That is outstanding.
If it's in between, like the normal expected price point, then just take 1 shot. Like, I could see them going like with the original Xbox's price point of 400.
I expect 500, to be quite honest.
I believe 400 because the PS4 Pro is at that same price point. And the only reason
they would have to do it
the only reason the Xbox One was originally at that $599 price point was because of the Kinect.
Oh, right.
And you can still buy a Kinect for like $100. And I think when I got my one without the Kinect, it was $399, but now the regular is $299.
Yeah, and with the Scorpio, I'll be curious to see like what they actually have coming out with it that will be ready for it.
I think
like they've shown, like, PlayStation's already shown with Last of Us 2. Like, this is going to be built for PS4 Pro.
That's another thing I'm excited for, is seeing more details on The Last of Us 2.
I don't know if we'll see much of it.
Sony only has a 90-minute panel.
Yeah, I don't think they're...
Same with Microsoft.
Well,
not this year, right?
In God of War, I want to see a little more. Like, they had their...
They put a God of War poster on the building. That
like, yeah, they had their demo the first time it was announced and looked amazing. But I want a little more like story-based details. Like,
it's the Norse game,
Norse
right?
one, yeah. Like, you're an old Kratos who has a son now.
And you fight Norse gods.
Yeah, they've shown you fighting like a frost giant. And
so you're a Wonder Woman.
But I would love to see more details about that.
Right.
Otherwise, I more Switch titles and some new IPs.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care to see anything Call of Duty related.
I would love to see BioWare, like, just something of what BioWare's new product is.
Or something new from Bethesda.
Jade Empire, the remake.
Like, just throw me a little tease of Elder Scrolls 6.
Bethesda did release Prey this year, so they have to be working on something.
It was Arcane.
Okay.
Same people
I didn't know
Dishonored.
That. Huh.
But like, I would just love like even a little tease of like Elder Scrolls 6. Sure, I'll wait another 17,000 years. But hey, I'm used to that by now.
Back in my day, we were waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's finally here.
The Elder Scrolls 6. It's been so long.
You have a new variation in your old man voice. It's old Jewish guy.
Or old New York guy. Doesn't have to be specifically Jewish.
It's an old guy getting his bagel in the morning.
Yeah.
Bagels.
I know from what I've seen, State of Decay 2, we're going to see at E3. Forza Horizon, or not Forza Horizon, Forza
Forza 6.
Motorsport 7.
Oh, is it 7 now?
It's 7.
Oh God.
That's gonna be coming out. Cuphead.
Oh, Assassin's Creed. We're supposed to see.
Yeah, Egypt, because we've seen the character now at Hot Topic.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
on shirts.
Well, and I'm okay with the Assassin's Creed one because
It's been a while.
they stuck true to their word. Is they took a break. They weren't doing the 1 year one Assassin's Creed. Is they actually took a break to get the system down, which I'm okay with them. With Assassin's Creed making its comeback now.
I would love to see something for Cyberpunk 2077. Even though they said it's probably not going to come out until 2019 now, which really
and I could
sucks.
see that being part of the Sony press conference.
Maybe, I don't know.
We're gonna see more Destiny, and now
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Sony.
Destiny 2.
Sony's exclusivity deal shifted with Destiny, because back when Destiny 1 came out, Bungie was not actually allowed to say that it was coming out on the Xbox also.
What?
They were not allowed to say it. They can Microsoft could say Destiny's coming out, but Bungie themselves were not allowed.
So fucking dumb.
I hope that their exclusivity deal is not as stupid as it is right
probably going
now,
to be.
Where remember that content that was promised over a year ago
Still
that
not
was
there.
supposed to
Red
go
Bull
to
missions?
Xbox? What's that?
The Red Bull missions?
No, those are out.
Okay.
It was supposed to be there's an exclusive strike, actually 2 exclusive strikes, and then some weapons that were supposed to at year 2 we're supposed to come back over to go to Xbox as well, so everyone had the
Never
same
did.
thing, but they still haven't, and they never will.
Crackdown 3, which was announced in 2014, is going to be playable this year at E3. Microsoft to reveal its VR plans. I'm looking at the Red Bull Microsoft E3 2017 predictions. I forget Red Bull is actually just straight up entertainment now. Halo 5 won't be at E3.
Halo 6.
Halo 6 won't be at E3, but we probably might get something else new. Who knows?
Well, yeah, because
Sea of Thieves.
343 said they're working on a new Halo property, just not in the canonical series.
Another top-down shooter. Halo Spartan Assault 3.
Did they ever make 2?
They did.
Shows how much I paid attention to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm wondering what Sony is going to be talking about, because, again, we have The Last of Us 2, all their other big major IPs were released. If Crash Bandicoot sells well, maybe we'll get a new Crash game.
Or maybe a new Spyro, or the Spyro version of it.
Yeah,
just take
a
the
Spyro
Spyro
remake.
games and remake them, which I'm so excited for. Crash
Cannonball
Bandicoot.
Run! Huh.
So excited for Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
So excited. 'Cause they took everything and redid it from scratch.
We probably will get another gameplay for... Did the side story for Uncharted come out yet?
No.
Where you're playing as the 2 ladies?
No.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
So there's that. And you're right. We'll probably see Mario Odyssey be playable at E3 this year too.
I'm assuming Mario Odyssey. They might tease a new, I'm hoping they'll tease a new Mario Party. That'd be amazing. Just don't make it Mario Party like Mario Party 9 or 10, where it was friendship your way to the finish line. No, Mario Party is all about screwing each other over and ruining
And
friendships.
waiting till the very end to ruin someone's night.
What's that last turn? Boo bell, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We could see about Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I could see that. Because EA
actual
still has their
gameplay.
own press conference. Ubisoft still has their own press
Bethesda
conference.
might have their own this year too. Sony, God of War with the 2018 release day. Shenmue possibly.
Ooh, Shenmue 3.
Or a Shenmue 1 and 2 remaster. Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne 2.
I could see Bloodborne 2. That would be
Yeah.
interesting. I never played Bloodborne 1, but I enjoyed watching gameplay of it.
And I think it worked because they made the combat slightly different.
It was the best way I heard it put was it was a faster paced Dark Souls.
Yeah,
So
and
instead
it
of everything
kind of
being
encouraged you to get
clunky
in
and it wasn't all about because Dark Souls is all about
learning boss fight mechanics.
and guarding.
Yeah.
It is straight up you've got your shield or something to guard with.
Or dodge.
You're gonna want to use that or dodge. Whereas Bloodborne, it was just you don't dodge. You have your melee weapon and a gun.
Do you think Sony has
dodge.
given up on handheld?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Not that they have Play Anywhere.
I don't know. Maybe they try to revitalize it with seeing how well the Switch did.
The Vita 2.
I don't know. I don't think we get another Vita, but maybe they start supporting it more.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed the Vita. I had one for a short time. I enjoyed it. Played Persona 4 Golden on it mostly, but I enjoyed it, but it's not something I would invest money in again.
Do you think Kojima's just going to rise from the middle of a crowd on a giant pillar of light?
Oh, yeah. We haven't even thought about
some more Death Stranding.
We could see more Death Stranding.
There will be more Death Stranding. I guarantee you.
Another weird-ass trailer that doesn't
with
mean
another
anything.
celebrity in it. What the hell is Emma Stone doing in Death Stranding? Is that Hugh Jackman?
Gilbert Gottfried?
Other things
find
I
out
think
who's Kojima's friends are.
I think another we might get some Horizon DLC at this point too.
I'd be okay with that. Get some story DLC.
Yeah. Maybe freaking Rockstar, in addition to showing off
Red Dead 2,
they'll say, for the first time ever, GTA 5 story content. They make so much money off of their online play. They have to give something.
Or they announced GTA 6 is in development, but online will transfer.
5 has so much life.
That's the thing is, I don't think they're anywhere
they will,
near looking at GTA 6. Is if they do with Red Dead 2 what they've done with GTA 5, that will have an insane life cycle too, and they can just they could just
milk.
Yeah, they could just drink that up until the day they die, and then 30 years from now be like, GTA 6.
Hey.
Another rumor is that Second Light, I think, is the developer, but the guys who made Infamous might be announcing a new IP.
I think they teased that a while ago.
Sucker Punch?
Yes, you're right. Possibly. Yeah. But I would be down. I love the Infamous gameplay.
I do too. Like I need to go through and finish Infamous Second Son. I loved that. Like the character that they made for that was amazing.
Wait, do you think with Doom coming out last year, they're going to bring Quake back?
I think
they already
said they are.
They are?
Yeah, they're making an online multiplayer. Like essentially, they're taking Quake, turning it into Overwatch.
They're going the multiplayer only
over Quake.
Yeah, I mean that's what Quake was always known for, was the big LAN parties and multiplayer tournaments and stuff.
Oh, yeah. It got announced last year. Quake Champions.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was at Bethesda's conference.
Maybe Fallout VR this year finally.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
There's
I'm always looking forward to the surprises of like, oh shit, what's this game? This looks awesome. Like
Cuphead.
Or like We Happy Few. Like that looks so cool from the trailer. It's like, what the fuck is this? And then you play and you're like,
I think when it actually is fully done and comes out, We Happy Few will be good. It's already being optioned for a movie or a TV show, I think.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's been optioned. I think it's been picked up by a studio to be made into a movie.
It's so weird to me.
It could easily be a movie. Like that is a really good concept of like
a good concept of something we only know from a 2-minute trailer.
And then a Minecraft style survival. Oh, we'll see more Minecraft because Microsoft owns the IP now.
Yeah,
so
for Mojang.
Minecraft's been killing it though.
Minecraft 2 maybe.
No.
All the new multiplayer stuff has been really cool.
Well, and they could always go back to their VR or the AR headset.
Yeah.
That they used.
HoloLens.
That they announced that the Minecraft compatibility with at the beginning, which that looked fucking amazing. Of like being able to put that headset on and you can just see a giant chunk of the world on a table and move around and be like, all right, I see that. I can put a piece there.
Our table is green screen. We have a pool table.
I would like to see a little more HoloLens too from Microsoft.
I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
That's why I want to see it. Is
like I even followed the development of it. And
I want to see what they're going to use. Like I know there are practices to use it for like professional, like architects or medical personnel.
Yeah.
Like to actually like have an AR setup of the human body that medical professionals can use, or like, all right, here's the blueprints. We're going to put them in the program. This is what your design will look like for architects. But I would like to see what they're going to use it for, the gaming aspect of it, because they made a pretty big deal about it at E3 of we're going to be developing games for this. It's going to be a new piece of hardware to use.
Where are you going? Bathroom. Okay. Well, bye-bye.
But I want to see them go into more detail about what games it'll actually like be compatible with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm more excited. Just any surprises, all surprises, announce something new IPs. I want to see new IPs.
Yeah. Again, if you surprise me with the Kingdom Hearts 3 release date, I'll shit my pants. Sony wins no matter what. I don't care. I don't care what else gets announced. Sony wins.
Team.
Like, I will settle the age-old debate of who won E3. Sony did.
I fucking hate that. Can we just like shit?
Because like I hate like if you're watching it on like YouTube Gaming or something, and you have the comment section next there, they announce one game.
The only time
one game at their press conference, I'm like, Microsoft wins, Microsoft wins, Microsoft wins. It's like, or it's not a competition.
How about everybody wins?
Yeah,
because
we all win. Shit. We all get the games.
We all get new shit.
You might be a Sony fanboy. Get over yourself. Doesn't mean Sony wins.
And just any teaser for Dragon Age. Like I don't think we'll see anything, but
I think it's too early.
It would be cool to see maybe like a name for it.
Yeah, if they like have the
Dragon
title.
Age Tavinta.
Yeah, or it's weird. You can hear the toilet flushing from the side room over there.
Oh yeah, the water's like right. The main water's there.
Yeah, that confused me.
Stuff there.
Yeah, there's a lot I want to see, a lot we're not going to see, but
then again, 2017 has been quite the surprise of all the good games. We won't see any Blizzard stuff because they always save that for their own event.
Yeah, they always save it for BlizzCon.
Still want to go to BlizzCon one year.
But yeah, it'll be.
And he comes back with pizza.
I did go to the bathroom.
It'll be interesting to see how this E3 goes. Like with them more expanding with their conferences. Like back when it used to only be Microsoft and Sony, then it went Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. Now even just single developers are getting their own conferences.
Yep. Yeah, I mean Bethesda and Rockstar have had that for a couple years now.
Kind of picks and chooses if they want to have one.
And it's kind of same with Nintendo. Is every now and again they'll do the big E3 presentation, but the past couple years they've just done the Nintendo Treehouse.
We are due for a Pokemon game.
Actually, yeah, because they did say when the Switch released, within the first 6 months, there will be a Pokemon game.
The legendary Pokemon Stars.
Oh, maybe we'll finally get Marshadow.
Let's switch.
Marshadow's coming as a gift.
Right, but that would be a good advertisement for it of like Pokemon Stars, and because Pokemon Stars is releasing, Marshadow.
I would love to see like this, just the spike in Switch sales. Just for Pokemon.
They're not out. There's no
I know,
Switches.
that's the problem.
Well, you could look at GameStop's website then and see how many of those bundles get pre-ordered, and they'll be like, all right, steady line, Pokemon Stars. Oh, shit.
Well, I am so happy that other people are on the same page as me now. Like, Jim's girlfriend, Angelica, was like, I want to Switch just for Mario Kart. Tyler, our good friend, was like, yeah, I bought my Switch for Mario Kart also. He bought the last Switch at the last place I was going to check.
I'm like, I do not give a shit about Mario Kart.
I bought mine for Zelda.
I bought mine for Mario Kart.
I bought mine for Zelda and the pure I love Nintendo.
I want them to do what they did with Black and White, where the sequel, all of your buddies are now gym leaders.
Right, like Sharon became Charon, however you pronounce it, went from your rival to now I'm the gym leader.
Yeah, Bianca became the new professor.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Sun and Moon, not only were they building their Elite Four at that, but they cleared ground area for gyms to be developed. Like, the whole thing is the Pokemon League has just officially come to the Alola region. And Red and Blue are there. It's like, yeah, we want to fight to be the new champion of this island.
Like, yeah, we came to this battle tree because we heard there are a lot of strong trainers. So we came to challenge them to get stronger and then take over this region, essentially.
Did you fight Red or Blue?
I went Blue.
Really? I fought Red for nostalgia's sake.
I fought Blue for nostalgia's sake. Because, like, I couldn't fight me. But fighting that nerd butt face.
But the Mount Silver fight, that's what I remember the most.
Yeah. That fucking overpowered Pikachu.
Are we ready?
Yes. So
I love E3, by the way. Just not excited.
Spoiler talk for Wonder Woman. We will announce when we are going to spoiler heavy. So initial thoughts. Go.
Fucking amazing.
excellent. They did it. Finally.
I see what you mean, like with the DC opening logo. That was so beautiful.
Yeah, so you can find the new DC Cinematic Universe intro on YouTube now. I went to go double check. But it reminded me of the Justice League, like the whole block, like minimalistic CGI 3D characters doing their thing. I'm like, holy shit! And then if you look, they have a bunch of characters on there.
Yeah, it's like it goes through the Justice League members being in all their awesome poses, doing their thing, and then it zooms out and like you see all of the DC heroes. Like I saw the one I could really only make out was Hawkman, and I tried to look like. Where is he? Where's Green Arrow? Where's my Ollie? I couldn't see him in time.
Where's Nightwing? Yeah. I cried like twice during that movie because it was so good.
He sat there in shock at the end. He's just like, how is it so
like
good?
I picked this up from Caleb, but when she gets really excited, she starts flapping her hands. And like at certain points, I'm like, oh my God, that's a Gail Simone thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like,
see, I've learned to control that and like keep it to myself, but my face will show the emotion, like, and then I'll get like chills going down. Like I got chills so many times during that movie.
Yeah,
the character Diana was perfect, like just her pure innocence at the beginning, and then things happen. Chris Pine was great. He was the good comic relief, but also had all these great lines.
He was Steve Trevor.
Yeah,
like. Beyond anything else, it is the same emotion that I had about Ben Affleck as Batman. I walked out of the theater, and that was Batman.
Oh God.
I dropped my pizza. Good thing it's cold.
Good God.
And that is cream cheese all over the phone.
So good. Jalapeno cream cheese, onion, bacon, do it. With a white sauce. But I walked out of the movie theater. That was Diana. That was Steve Trevor. That was Captain Poison or Dr. Poison, whatever.
That was Etta.
I walked out. I was like, that was Etta Candy.
Well, and I
wish we saw more of Etta.
I was kind of hesitant on like Ares. Like, how are they going to do him? Is he going to be fully CGI? But they did a good job with him too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise.
And it was like really dark. Like, it's not like dark like Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman was, but emotionally dark. Like, oh, you see characters suffering from PTSD. Oh, you see characters suffering because of the war. You see this. You see this.
I mean, they captured the World War I essence perfectly.
You even, like, there is even a very slight examination of racism of one character who wants to be an actor, but he even straight up says, like, I want to be an actor, but I'm the wrong color. It's like, you're talking World War I time. Yeah, that is.
And
still
then you have Chief, who's like, my land was taken by other people.
Yeah, like by his people.
I'm like,
and you're like,
oh my God, they did that.
Because it was so recent too. When you think about like, this is 1918. That was like maybe 30 years prior to the actual events of the movie. It's just
it gets very serious and keeps the timeline or the time that this is taking place into account of like, yeah, all this shit actually happened.
Or when, I guess I'm sure I'll keep it non-spoiler, but when Diana walks into a room full of like high-ranking officials in the British government,
they just all go silent and stare, and
like,
like,
woman here.
Yeah, it's like, why is she here? How'd she get in here? What is she doing?
Remus Lupin did an awesome job as his character.
Yeah, I like how I woke up to that message. He's just like, you finally figured out.
I texted Zach in the middle of the night. I'm like, I snapped up in bed and realized Sir Patrick is Remus Lupin. Like the entire time I was thinking about who that character was.
Holy shit.
I know, right? It finally clicks.
Like,
it's the mustache. The mustache throws it off so much.
Like the entire cast of that movie did so well. Like Gail Simone had like a 40 tweet thread of her just like gushing about the movie, and then Patty's like, this entire thread made my night, thank you so much. And it's like, that movie is covered in Gail Simone references, Jeff John references, not Greg really Azzarello, Greg Rucka references. Well,
and I would say the action sequences are very Azzarello. I'm like, this is something that Brian Azzarello's Wonder Woman of God of War would be doing.
Yeah, like the beginning story where they talk about the Ares and the slavery and everything. That was very Azarello to me. And
or when she's literally just going through a town, just annihilating German soldiers by herself.
Well, and I saw what you meant with like the ice cream line. Like that was such a perfect, like it was a small thing, but it was such a perfect line of like her trying to ice cream. Like, you should be very proud of yourself because she sincerely means that because she's never had ice cream before. It's like there's that innocence there.
You can even hear subtly like the ice cream vendor like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Yeah. And that's Jeff Johns thing. That's subtleness.
Like that one subtle line had so much like innocence for a person who's never experienced it before, but you're experiencing that childhood joy of like ice cream for the first time as an adult. Like, yeah, someone's gonna react that way, and it was so perfect but so subtle.
All right. It sounds like we're ready to go spoiler heavy. So this is your warning now, listeners. If you've not seen it, stop.
Pause the podcast. Go to a theater.
Then come back.
This pizza's so good.
Gave you like a 30-second pause there.
So we are now in
spoiler territory. You've been warned.
Was that Shazam in the beginning? When they're doing like the story and you have the gods on Olympus and you see one dude flying, shooting lightning from his hands.
Well, it was supposed to be Zeus.
Well, no, Zeus was on the mountain.
Well,
Zeus was in the middle.
It's one continuous picture.
Right, but it was like one continuous picture of one scenery of all the gods standing on Olympus and one person with a cape just kind of flying out there shooting lightning.
Well, think of it like
Shazam?
Think of it like a splash page, but you are right because when you see them on Olympus, you can see
the Justice League.
The Justice League,
yeah,
kind of like
you see one person holding a trident.
Yeah, it's like the Flash, how the CCPD has the Justice League on it. It's very subtly.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, so are they just like, is that an analogy for the Justice League right there? And then you see someone flying off, I'm like, does that mean that's Shazam? Or at least the wizard that gives Shazam his powers?
Beyond anything else, the greatest line ever is mentioned, and it's a riff on I think it was either Gail Simone or Greg Rucka who said this, or even Scott Snyder. If you want to save the world from earthly harm, you call Batman. If you want to save the world from space, you call Superman. If you want to save the world, you call Wonder Woman. And the fact that Steve Trevor goes, I'll save today.
You save the world.
And I'm like,
oh, that
fuck.
That line almost made me cry because I was like, oh no, not like this.
Yeah, and I did my stereotypical thing. I'm like, at some point during this movie, she's going to go through a transformation. Steve Trevor is going to die because this is the only way the movie can end. And then we'll flash back to the present. I was right about the whole flashbacks. So I'm like, yes. Mm-hmm. And
I thought it was going to be more of a, like, because when she got the picture and it's like, maybe one day you'll tell me your story. I thought it was going to be her telling Bruce Wayne her story. You're like calling him up and be like, all right, so shit started when I was a little girl with the mascara. And I love how it was never like touched on or reacted to, but I love how Steve Trevor just kind of snuck in Paradise Island there. It's like, you from Paradise Island.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't react to it or anything. It was just like...
I love when Steve's like, all right, where are we? Yes, I know what you've told me already. Like, where the hell are we actually?
And I just love Steve Trevor, and Chris Pine did a wonderful job. And I don't know what it is with people putting Chris Pine on motorcycles lately.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I was like, are they just ripping off Star Trek at this point? Because like when he looked over, it's like motorcycle. I'm like,
did James Wan intervene? He say like, hey, can I direct the motorcycle scene?
He didn't do that.
No?
No, James Wan didn't.
It was Fast and Furious, right?
Not that one.
Oh.
Different director.
Dang it.
But yeah, like when he looked over and saw the motorcycle, like, it's happening again. We're going to have an awesome Chris Pine motorcycle driving sequence.
And then Wonder Woman going Super Saiyan. I honestly expected the entire supporting cast to die. Samir, the chief.
I did too. When they were like in their huddle and it was like they were going to die and the plane was going to explode and then that was going to make her snap.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, they can't defuse the bombs because they're on a time limit. And then Steve Trevor just flying out there. And you see him and like with a relief. It's like, well, the factory's destroyed. And he starts laughing. And then just all of the emotion as he's pulling out the gun. I'm like,
everything hits him at once. It's like he's flying there. And it's like I'm going to save everyone. I'm also going to die. But I'm going to save everyone. But I'm also going to die. And like that blank face of like, should I feel happy? Should I feel scared? Should I feel sad?
There's so many things going on. It's like he's going to save the day.
And then
he'll
you
be
see
regarded as a hero.
And then you see that little smile creep on his face.
Yeah, but at the same time, he knows that he's not going to be able to spend any more time with Diana.
Well, like I saw it as like he came to us as like yeah, I'm gonna die, but she's gonna help save the world. And then you see the little smile, and then the explosion.
And that was such a like. I know everyone's riffing on it, Wonder Woman, the first Avenger, kind of deal, but it did really remind me so much of that Captain America moment where Steve crashes the plane. But it's like it was the only meaningful way, and it's like the world of man has done terrible things, and I didn't want to save them anymore until Doomsday. Well, it's like what happened to Diana in World War II?
Well, and I did see a moment like you could see the moment of she kind of hates humanity, but there was like that one redeeming moment when all the German soldiers taking off their gas masks and they look all relieved and happy, and it's like she could kind of say like, all right, Ares was influencing them a little bit, like the presence of Ares was influencing them.
They didn't,
but at the same time, they bad on the inside
because there's a female villain all along. Yeah, go.
Well, I mean, that was I mean, I wanted to talk to you guys about like I didn't expect Sir Patrick to be Ares because they literally just like at one point they just cut off like he's not seen until the very end. I'm just like. Okay, Ludendorff is too comically evil.
It does make a lot of sense.
Because Ludendorff is so comically evil.
Perpetuates the war. Oh, Steve Trevor, you're planning on going to the front and disobeying all my orders? Let me help you with that.
And it's like, this could lead to more chaos and more war. Here's some money for your mercenaries.
Or the guy, the fact that he's using a cane to walk the entire time. I'm like, okay, I know polio vaccine wasn't invented yet, and he seems pretty young. Why would he still be using a cane unless he, Diana chewing out the generals fought alongside the soldiers where I come from. That was such a badass moment.
Yeah. Well, and like it makes additional sense that he is trying to push quote unquote for the armistice, is because he was leaving the
because he
little
knows
clues
all these other
because he's leaving the clues to the doctor and the general, and that
Ludendorff.
like it's going to piss him off. And he's like, no, we're just gonna go for this poison everyone.
Well, I mean, it's even
more
like
war.
Since I know a lot about like World War I and like how Ludendorff that was very like characteristic of like he's super headstrong. Like he was determined. He's like, no, Germany can win the war.
Yeah, we just need to find the right tool. And the kind of ceiling moment for me that like maybe this guy is Ares was the fact that Ludendorff wanted to use the poison, and Diana straight up said, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to kill him. And he gets on the phone right away. He's like, no, do not go to that gala. Do not go anywhere near Ludendorff. Stay away from him.
Like, even Steve's just like, what if you're wrong?
Yeah. And like, at that point, it's like, okay, maybe, because that seems like something like they could go and kill Ludendorff. Poison's gone. War's over. But at that point, it's like, shit, if they kill him, that poison's not going to get distributed. Stay away from him. It's like, that's a very, I want to keep this war going mentality.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch the license plate?
No.
So on the Wayne Enterprises truck that was carrying the photo, it said JL 282. Justice League Volume 2, Issue 82 is a story where Wonder Woman's the leader after Superman's death. It's a Guy Gardner story, but why do I know this? Why do I know this? Hate myself. But
yeah, like even like I think when the scene that like still like all right, there's no way Ludendorff is Ares, like that would be just like such a cop out.
Right.
Was when him and Poison lock all the German general high command.
He was so giddy.
I'm just like this is too comically evil. Like there's no way this is Ares.
Like
right.
Poison's sitting there looking through the window, and she's like, ooh, look at my work. And then he's sitting there like a giddy little schoolgirl, like, we need to go and let the Kaiser know.
Yeah. I thank Patty Jenkins on so many levels for Wonder Woman. Like, she did a tremendous job. The script by Jeff Johns and that one Young Avengers writer was perfect. The actors were amazingly cast. And we know that Wonder Woman 2, whatever it's going to be called, Patty Jenkins is returning as director. Woo! And it's going to be a contemporary piece. So I'm imagining, like, they borrowed a lot from Gail Simone and Rucka for this first movie. Take even more from Rucka, do The Lie, essentially, where she goes off to find Barbara Ann Minerva as Cheetah in the jungle. She meets Steve Trevor's
they've even
descendant.
hinted at like just the fact that she's like an archaeologist essentially, or works at a museum, so it fits very well.
She's a historian,
historian who works at the Louvre. So it would make sense to have her go into the jungle and be like, we found this artifact, we need you to come look at it. And then suddenly, Cheetah.
Yeah, and then
she befriends
someone who, or finds someone who becomes a rival.
Who
becomes a rival, and then she finds the artifact and be like, I want the power to fuck this bitch up.
It'll be interesting to see like what version of Barbara Ann they go with, because there's two versions I know of. Barbara Ann's just a shitty human being in general and was a thief,
or she's Wendy's best friend.
Yeah.
And I love what Ruck has been doing with The Lie, like this version of Barbara Ann, because I never realized that freaking Cheetah was ever like, I knew she was Wonder Woman's arch nemesis, but never like they were friends in that regard. And if they do this contemporary piece, Chris Pine comes back as the godson. Eddie Candy's now the canonical comic book version where she's black instead of the white British lady,
like not a colonel, but pretty.
She's general.
Yeah.
For at least like the secret force, like, and then it takes place after Justice League, so she maybe has some of those experiences, and it's like, I led the Justice League, I can lead you.
That was my favorite part about this movie, was just seeing her character development, because she's just so innocent of the world, and she just wants to believe in the good in everyone.
And
that's
one of her,
so Wonder Woman.
I know.
Like her first two experiences are ice cream, and then the battlefield, or people coming off of the battlefield with shell shock, missing limbs. Those are her first two, and those
that's
are
that's her first real experience of war, because she hasn't actually seen it before.
It's two radically different, big experiences for her of, I'm trying this delicious ice cream, and then suddenly amputees and shell shock victims. Yeah. And then she just goes right into that.
Well, also one of the best scenes is her climbing out of the trench where it's all gray and gloomy, but she's freaking shiny and gold, like the symbol of hope.
And
that's the moment from the trailer when she bitch slaps the mortar.
Yeah, and just that line of them trying to hurry. It's like, no, we could help. We can't help them. We have to go. It's like, this isn't something we do. And then just her going down, putting her hair down, putting her tiara on, just be like, something I do. And then
just that moment when she's going through no man's land itself. Everything. Yeah, because it's no man's land. Yeah. That doesn't mean shit. Well, it's a Wonder Woman.
The second they mention that line, it's like this is no man's land. No man has ever crossed. They accentuated that man. And I'm like, she's no man. And then I had Sauron flashbacks. No man's ever crosses. I'm no man.
Yeah, I just
fuck your wordplay.
God, it was such a good movie. Kayla and I were talking about it, and she was like, "It was so good," and I'm gonna go see it again this weekend with my mom.
I want to go see it again, but I love the little thing that made me happy is how they played with her first origin story of when they're telling the story. It's like. Well, tell me a story. And I was like, well, what if I tell you a story about how I sculpted you from clay?
And the Zeus gave life to you.
I prayed to the gods and Zeus gave life. I've heard that story before. It's that was her original origin story. And then they just make a joke out of it. It's just a children's bedtime story. But really, she's the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I had Revenge of the Sith flashbacks. The final battle with Ares shooting lightning at her. I'm like,
no.
I have power, and then for one thing, that fucked me up mythologically, because Ares should not shoot lightning.
No.
Yeah.
And then she in turn shoots lightning back at him. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, because
she flies up. She's like, goodbye, brother. You're like, oh god, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's like I said, that's a very Gail Simone thing. She gave her that power specifically, and just when she went Super Saiyan, moving in fast motion, I had Futurama flashbacks.
Yeah, with Fry at the $1,000 coffee. But oh my god, that scene was so amazing. Where it's everyone else in slow motion, but she's sitting there
she's
punch, throw,
move.
punch,
Tank, break the gun. Yeah, freaking deadlifting a tank.
It's look, poison right in front of you. Tank, I will crush you. No, I'm good.
Diana, that's not you.
The last 15 minutes have so much character development for her, because she realizes it was never one person. It was these people are just, maybe they are innately bad.
We learn that the evil is not Ares,
there's
but
like
the
both
evil
sides of the pendulum
us.
just swinging in that.
Well, and
it's the friends we made along the way. That's the
Yes.
true evil.
I like how they worked with the whole God Killer angle. Like where she grew up thinking this sword is the God Killer because her mom put it in this ornate stand and told her
and
this
she
is the
used,
God
it was
Killer.
used to kill Ares.
And then once, I can't remember Hippolyta's sister's name. The combat one who trained.
General.
Yeah, who trained Diana.
Something.
It started with an A.
I got you.
But when she's sitting there like, it's time, and then like Stutter's like, God Killer, and I'm like, oh shit, she's the God Killer.
That was a pretty like intense moment where she's just like, it's going down.
Yeah, it's like I got the God Killer. Let's go.
It's just gone.
Like,
what?
shit.
Again, I was having Revenge of the Sith flashbacks, and I was expecting it to turn into a lightsaber at the end.
You have no power here.
But yeah,
I have the high ground, Ares.
it's kind of interesting too. Like you said, they blended her origin of she's clay, and then kind of like, oh yeah, Zeus is actually your dad because that's what Zeus does, sticks his dick in everything. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of like Cassie's story.
They kind of even made it a hint to Brian Azzarello's kind of origin of the Amazons,
Yeah.
where they go off, find men, get pregnant, kill them, and then come back.
Yeah.
They kind of briefly mentioned that with the
because
12 volumes of sex.
Diana's the only child on all of.
And they even point that out, it's like, you are the only child on Themyscira. It's like, so you are precious. Little do you know you're the only child because Zeus put you here to kill a
Antiope.
god.
Antiope or Princess Buttercup. I did not realize that was Princess Buttercup until I saw. Oh, that shit. That was Robin Wright.
Wait,
Like
what?
straight up Princess Bride.
That's Robin Wright.
What?
She got swole.
She got super swole.
A really cool fun fact is that
Also,
all of the
love-
Amazons on the island
Woo, love.
are like MMA fighters
Are they
or
really?
like other
That's-
like trained combat
That's
professionals.
pretty great.
They were all hired as extras specifically for those Amazon
All the
scenes.
combat was fucking amazing.
The three
with that.
arrows.
Yeah, just
Yeah, like
them
where she's like,
flipping around.
shield, throws in the air, turns around, and puts 3 perfectly timed arrows in German.
Oh, that's gonna be a MacGuffin later. Guys, put it on your back.
Diana,
Shield.
shield. Destroyed a church.
Well, bam.
And then we know where the photo came from now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay!
They answered questions and left me wanting more. Like, I was already excited for Justice League. Now I have a hard on for the Justice League.
There's
movie.
a joke. I texted Kayla immediately before the movie started. There's a new cut of Justice League, and I have a hard on. And now the DC cinematic thing just made a
I'm
mess.
kind of sad because I went to Alamo, which for some reason didn't show trailers before the movie. So I didn't see it. I'm going to go to YouTube and watch it
Yeah,
because I'm sure it's on there
we
already.
hear J.K. Simmons speak for the first time.
Yeah, you see the stash.
Yeah, he talked in the one where they let Aquaman talk.
Yeah,
where-
it's the same one.
Dressed as a bat.
Same scene.
I dig
but it's
it.
just cut differently.
Okay.
I'm still not used to Jason Momoa's super deep voice for Aquaman.
Yeah. I expect Phil Lamar's voice to be coming out, personally.
Just like kind of like treble tone.
Yeah, like the fact that Phil
Or not
Lamar
treble, tenor
has
tone.
been Aquaman in Justice League, and then he's Aquaman in Young Justice. Like he's
And Aquaman and Injustice.
Yeah, he's like the canonical. He's the Kevin Conroy of Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Jason Momoa, this deep menacing,
Not
Not sure how
almost
he's
surfer
supposed to be.
bra Aquaman.
a little bit.
Just with like
Well,
the
he's
like the
supposed to be-
whole like
it's
dressed
the
as a bat.
Polynesian.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's like I see you're working with people again temporarily.
And like when you like, just the fact like that, I dig it. And I'm like, I like this Aquaman.
Hang time, dude.
Yeah.
As then he goes surfing on the Batmobile.
He's not like the super regal Aquaman. He's kind of laid back, but at the same time, I'm hoping
He's not the king of Atlantis.
right.
Oh, and something James Wan did confirm is that Aquaman the movie is going to take place after Justice League.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Like I could see maybe the end of Justice League, like if they do a post-credit scene, or
We
like-
found Atlantis.
or if they do like a.
It's Mara coming out of the ocean.
Well, or if they do
Arthur
like a wrap up
Curry.
for each character is like him going down to Atlantis and be like, "You're our new king," boom, and then Mara just floats in like, "Sup, I'm here too."
I'm here to assassinate you. Well, it's damn Zeeble blooded. All right. I think that's a good point to wrap up.
Yeah.
None of
Yes,
us
Wonder
read
Woman.
Jack because we were moving this weekend.
Either moving or working.
Same.
Yeah. So
yay for being adults.
Wonder Woman, yes.
Go see it.
yeah, it's
It's what I'm honestly just curious what it's sitting at on Rotten Tomatoes now.
I think it's still sitting at like a 94.
one dude on a CCBE was like, I give Wonder Woman 9.5 out of 10 if it was a Marvel movie, 8.5 out of 10 if it was a DC movie, because I give DC movies more criticism. I'm like, that makes no sense.
You're fucking
what's
Vegas screwed.
You're kind of part of the problem.
That didn't make sense to me personally.
Because that is kind of, because I've seen so many things of like Wonder Woman surprised me so much because of the DC movies. It's like DC has such a stigmata on it now that
Wonder Woman surprised me because it was a woman.
because you're going in because it has the DC title on it. You're going in with a negative connotation already.
Did you see the Fox News headline?
No.
You showed me this morning.
Fox News is disappointed that Wonder Woman isn't American enough. And I'm like, well, for granted, it's a fictional character from a fictional island fighting in World War I on the Western Front. Western Front.
Also,
the
fact that these are a group of people who were created by a Greek god.
2, the actress is freaking Israeli.
I mean, there's 2 American characters. You got the Chief and Steve Trevor. Boom.
I found something very interesting about not the movie, but the release of the movie.
Wonder Woman 75th anniversary?
No.
Oh.
The movie, like hours before it was released, got banned in Palestine.
It was Lebanon.
Lebanon, yeah. Because of Gal Gadot.
Because she was in the military.
An Israeli
Which,
forces.
I mean,
I could see it, but at the same time, it's like, that's very fascinating.
Every Israeli has to go into military service.
But she actually served time in the military force, so they banned the movie because of that. Yeah. And I find that very fascinating. It's like, it's an American. It's something with the region. It's an American release movie that happens to star an Israeli woman.
But let's all keep in mind, the biggest blue Boy Scout that represents all of America's ideals is an illegal immigrant from another planet.
With forged documents.
With forged documents.
So, just, for why not sake, Wonder Woman's still sitting at a 93 critical review, and 93% of the people who, out of 67,000 ratings, liked it.
Certified fresh.
Yep. So average rating is 4.5 out of 5, and average critical rating is 7.6 out of 10.
The predicted domestic box office for this weekend was 200 million. I know by the time we saw it Friday, they made 100.
Opening day was 100.5 million.
Yeah, so they already made 3/4 of their budget back. And for it to be considered a success, I think they need to make 400 back on it for production and advertisements.
As of 6 hours ago, Wonder Woman worldwide has earned 223 million.
Yeah, so they already made their production budget back.
2 days.
They just need the advertisement budget.
12 million in China.
3 days.
God. It was so good.
It was so good.
I know. It's not like, Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman made a lot of money. No, it's like, no, everybody's saying this movie's fucking great.
It made its
money. It finally
money,
happened.
And it's
DC fans are fucking real. Our hopes were realized.
We did our time. The waiting paid off.
We had a great movie.
Where did we did our time come from? What movie, Steven?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Thanks. Because I quote that all the time. Zach did it yesterday too.
I knew it was Prisoner
It's Sirius Black.
Yeah, Sirius Black.
I did my time.
Yeah, I just love that line so much. And then, like I said, it's Wonder Woman's 75th anniversary this weekend, and they did like the paper tiaras and bracelets you can go to your local comic book shop for. And they did like a whole spread of like, here's all of our major costumes. The George Perez version. Oh, this is the Cliff Chiang version. Oh, this is the Liam Sharp version. I'm like, it's so good.
Yeah, something cool that my cousin told me about when she went to go see it. The little old lady that was at the ticket counter had a Wonder Woman headband on. Oh, I was just like, that's freaking adorable and awesome.
There was like 3 people walking in a group that were all wearing like Wonder Woman dresses or Wonder Woman shirts, and I wanted to comment on it, but they looked underage and their mom was with them. So I'm like, not gonna do this.
Not touching that one.
Well, not gonna compliment you. I'm sorry.
I love
don't
the
look
pictures,
like a creep.
like the pictures that have come out. Like, here's why Wonder Woman is important.
And it's the little girl from Comic-Con.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 little girls all in front of like Wonder Woman posters, like in the full dress outfit, just staring at the poster, doing the pose. Like this is why it's important. A strong female character.
And now all the orphans are gonna look at their Batman. It's like, I can do that too.
or there's gonna be a kid who has parents who be like, Hey, Joe, chill.
Joe chill. Joe chill. All right.
So
all I need is a butler, and I'm good.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Before we give any rich orphans any bright ideas.
Just become a space alien and crash land on Earth in Kansas. Why not?
Please don't. We saw what happened in Life. Oh, we need to watch Life.
No.
We need to watch Life.
Movie night.
I told Zach we're going to watch What We Do in Shadows later this week, and he's like, no. I'm like, it's a comedy movie. He's like, okay,
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's so good.
Movie night.
All right, let's end it.
Oh, Zack Snyder was also in Wonder Woman.
Was he?
Yeah. Remember when we stayed watching the credits? Because
he was a producer.
No, he was a soldier.
Oh, was he? Really?
Yeah. He has a quick little cameo.
Was there an after credit scene?
No.
Wasn't.
Okay.
I stay watch the credits all
right.
the time.
I just didn't think there was one that I missed.
It's kind of like what James Gunn does. He puts all those scenes so people have to watch the credits. Right. And I supported all these people by watching the credits. I learned that from Kayla. We will not leave until the screen goes black most of the time for movies. Or until the cleaning crew shows up, then I get really embarrassed. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to a brand new episode of the Z2 Podcast. Wherever you listen to us, whether it be Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, YouTube. Tune in.
Yeah, someone else.
Or more. Please leave us a comment, a review. Give us those 5 stars, a thumbs up, whatever. Because we like doing this for you guys, and we would love to see what you think about it. If you ever want to hit us up, we are very active on Facebook, Twitter. Our email is z2podcasts, as in plural, at gmail.com. I wonder if anyone ever emails it to z2podcasts, as in plural. We're gonna
let's register that domain too and check to see if anyone gets it.
Holy shit, we have hundreds of emails.
There are so many people who want to collab with us.
Oh God.
What's that? Scott Snyder wants to be on here?
Fun thing. The Rock was at Kind of Funny Live 3.
Really? They got The Rock.
They got The Rock.
Our future president, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Tom Hanks, 2020.
Can one go up right at this point?
Did you see Tom Hanks discovered a secret NSA building?
What?
Okay, it is not an NSA building. Is it this giant skyscraper that has no windows?
Yeah.
It's an old AT&T building.
Which the NSA are occupied in.
That we think.
That we believe.
Anything.
He just took a picture of it on Instagram. This building's creepy. And then someone was like, oh yeah, there's this book written about it. And it was like a conspiracy theory book.
Oh man, it was great.
All right.
Oh Lord.
Thank you guys for listening. If it's Tuesday, go support your local comic shop tomorrow on Wednesday, and we will talk to you later. Bye, Internet.
Bye.
Love you.
Later.